Hi there. So we're putting some online classes together, and we're going to do an online version of our gentle mobility class. So lots of seated stuff, suitable pretty much for anybody. When you do this class, as always, just do what you can. So any moves which are uncomfortable for you, so you've got bad shoulder, and you can leave the moves out that are uncomfortable or cause you any pain. And that, we're just going to start with a little bit of mobility. So we're going to use our wrists and just circle around through the wrists. Okay. Just loosen them off and take it back the other way. Okay. And then maybe just take them out and give them a little wiggle in and out. Just working through your hands. You can give them a little shake out. And then when we take your ankles, I'm just going to do a little circle through your ankles. And you can always hold on to the back of your leg, a little bit more support. And you do need a nice firm chair when you're doing this, with a nice, good, secure base. And it's best to have one that's a little bit higher. You're going to circle around the other way. And then maybe just flex and point. Flex and point. And then we'll swap over and do the other leg. So just circling around. Nice big circles. Again, support the back of the leg if you need to. And then taking back the other way. Just loosening up through your ankle. And we're going to point and we're going to flex. We'll flex and point. Doesn't matter which way around you do it. And then taking back in and just take a little walk on the spot. I'm just pedaling through your feet, through the whole of your foot there. Nice good posture, so shoulder blades down the back, we're sitting up nice and tall. And you're kind of sitting forward in your chair. If you need to be a little bit further back, for back support, that's fine as well. Just make sure you're nice and comfortable. And then we'll tap the toes. So just lifting the toes up towards your knees. Alternating from side to side. And then we're going to bring those feet down. And again, we're just going to take a little look. So we're going to take a look over your right shoulder and then back into centre. And just take a little look over the left. Now you always need to be really careful of your neck area. So it's just a gentle turn of the chin without forcing it. Nice and controlled. I'm going to do one more to each side. And then bringing your eye gaze forward, we're going to take your shoulders and just take a nice loop round. Circling your shoulders. And we usually come forward and then slide them down your back. And again, you can make it as small or as big as you like. As they start to loosen up, maybe just make that movement a little bigger. It's in the whole of your arms. And then we're going to squeeze them all the way up to your ears. Get a little honey monster. And then just let it relax. Feel the shoulder blades slide down your back. Just give them a little shake out. And maybe just swing them. A little spotty dog kind of swing. Just letting your arms be really heavy. Just loosens up that joint there. I'm going to bring the arms down to a stop. I'm just going to work through our leg. So we're going to extend the leg out nice and long and then bring that leg back down. So extending all the way out and back down. Again, you might not be able to straighten your leg fully out, that's fine. Just take it to where you can. But you should feel those nice big muscles on the top of your leg just tightening up as you extend and release. That's it. We can do just a few more. You can do it at your own pace and whizzle along. We're going to do one more on each leg. And bringing those feet back down, give them a little shake. I'm going to take the arms. So just imagine you're swimming, doing a little bit of breaststroke down the pool. You're going to come forward and do a big sweep round. Stretch forward and back. That's it. And again, you can have the arms lower if you need to. If your shoulders aren't so good, they might not lift very high. And you can slow it down, you can speed it up. I'm going to do one more like that. And then we're going to turn the palms up. Bring the thumbs in. Again, shoulder blades down the back. And just imagine we're just drawing your shoulder blades in towards your spine here, drawing the ribs in. And keep that as we draw the thumbs out and back in again. And you can imagine you've got something under your arms. And you've got your toilet roll under there. Don't let it go. And as you do it, try not to let the chin drop out, jut out. Going to do one more like that. And then let the arms go. We're going to give them a little loosen. And again, we're just going to take a little lift through the knee now. Now, if you've got hip replacements or you've got a bad back and this feels uncomfortable, then again, don't do it. We can do the leg extensions again. Otherwise, we're just using our hands just to lift the knee up towards you. And as you do, try not to collapse into the backs. Sit up nice and tall. There we go. We're going to do one more in each leg. And then bringing them down, and we're just going to circle your foot. And you might need to just come a little bit further forward in your chair for this one, especially if you were further back. And we're just going to circle. And try and make a perfect circle. And you're leading from the hips, so the knee's moving, not just the foot. And again, it can be as small or as big as you like. And then taking back the other way, so you're circling it the other way. Just creating a little loosen up for those hips there. And then we'll take the other leg and circle that one. Polishing the floor with your foot. And take him back the other way. I'm going to bring him back in and just pedal through the feet one more time. Now I'm going to bring the feet down. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Now, if you've got any problems with osteoporosis or the sort of vertebrae in the middle of your back there, then don't do this one. But otherwise, we're just going to sit up tall. We're going to take a little twist. So we're going to take a little twist off to one side and then back to the centre. And again, it doesn't have to be big. I'm going to anchor into your sit bones there and just turn through the waist. Breathing out and then a nice deep breath in. I'll just do one more on each side. And we're going to come back to centre. And I'm going to take a little reach overhead. So again, if your shoulders aren't so good, it might not be one for you. If you've got very high blood pressure or heart problems, you might not do this one. But otherwise, we're going to reach up, like you're reaching up to that high shelf, and then bringing back down. And then take the other one up. Reach him tall. Press into your sit bones, lift up, and back to the other. Okay. Try and create a little lift up through the side of the body, right from the hip. Stretching tall and back down. We're going to do one more. And then bringing him back down. So we're going to come up to standing for a little bit. And when you come up, you're just going to bring those feet a little bit closer into the chair, a little tip forward, and just press into your feet to come up. You can use your hands if you want. I'm going to come around to the back of your chair. I'm just going to, you can hold on to your chair on both sides. I'm going to turn myself around so you can see. Oops, you don't have to. Hoping I'm still in the camera shot. So we're just going to take a little squat. So we're going to bring the feet, maybe in line with your chair legs is a good way of doing it, and that brings a little bit of width here under your shoulders. Pull the tummies in, and we're just going to sit the bottoms back, and then press up through the whole of your foot. So tummies are strong, we want to keep a nice long line for your spine, and then press up through the whole of your feet. Sitting back, and then press up. And we're going to aim for about 10. I think I've done 5. Ribs in, bottoms back. I never could count. I think we're on about 8. So we do 2 more. Lengthening down through the tailbone. And then press all the way back up. And again, still holding on to your chair. We're going to take a little lift up to your calf raises. So you want to lift straight up to the ceiling and back down. So again, tummy's pulling in a little bit. Get a nice lift, chin in. I go straight forward. And try and go straight to the ceiling. So try not to bend the knees. And that way you'll get those calves working. Oops. And then we're aiming again for around about 10. If I can count. I think that's 7. 8. There we go. We're going to do one more like that. And then bringing the feet down, just give them a little shake out. And this time we're just going to take this foot behind. Now we've got a lot of weight in this leg now, so just kind of lift up through the hips. And we're going to do a little press down through the heel. And as you press the heel down, we just get this little opening in the front of the hip here, and your bottom tightens up. And then we soften. So we're getting a little tightening in your bottom, and an opening in the front of your hip. Now as you do it, just make sure we're not collapsing into the lower back. We've still got that little lift in your tummy. So we're just getting a nice little squeeze at the bottom, and release. It's very weird doing this with no people in the room. We're just filming. I think we've got 3 more. So we're going to do 3, 2, 1 more like that. And then just press him down, hold him a little bit longer, feel that bottom tighten up a little bit more. And then we'll relax, and we're going to do the other leg. So sometimes it works the leg you're standing on more than the other one, because it's a lot of support coming through here. And we're lifting up, we're kind of drawing the hips in, tummy's engaged, toes back, so you can see it from the front. And we're just pressing down, and then soften the knee. I want you to get that feeling of tightening through your bottom and opening the front of the hip. So hold on to your chair on it. I'll come around that way. So pressing down and back. So see how we're keeping the length in the spine there. We're not allowing the back to arch. And we're really getting our bottoms working. Again, we're aiming for around about 10. Squeeze. I think that's 8, I think. 9. 1 more. That's 10. Brilliant. So now we're going to come sideways onto your chair. So you've got the chair on the side, and you can do this on a tabletop, a countertop, whatever you've got, or in between a door frame. And it's just a little balance. So we can take, if you've got hold of the chair, you can take the outside leg, the one furthest from the chair, and step it in front of your other foot. And then put the weight in both feet. Now if that feels too much, you've got hip replacements, feels too much, you can always just put it a little bit out so it's not quite square on. So we end up here. You're holding onto your chair. And it's just a little balance. So we're getting to length, we're lifting up through the tummy. And if you feel confident enough to let go, just make sure your hands are near that chair so you can grab hold of him. Don't want anyone on the floor. And if you can see, when I let go, everything's moving. So my ankles, my knees are moving. I'm having to kind of respond to keep my balance. That's why it's such a good exercise for your balance. And just hold it for around about sort of 30 seconds to a minute. Again, you can have one finger on there. But wherever you are, make sure you can grab hold of something to keep you upright if you need to. Beautiful. We'll just hold it for another 10 seconds. And then we're going to swap sides. So if we're here, we're going to swap sides. So what you will have to do is turn around and face the other way. So again, you can take the outside foot and put it in front. See, I'm not going to do that because I can't see the camera then. So we're here. Hold on that way. But we want the chair on this side. And because if you do fall, then you tend to go towards the chair. So equal weight in both feet. You can have a little softness in the knees. And again, just focus on that balance. And if you're really good at this, you can challenge it by just kind of changing your eye direction. Looking over one shoulder and back in. And as soon as you move your eye gaze, that makes it a lot harder. Suddenly wobbling. If you're super keen, you can close your eyes, but make sure you've got something to grab hold of. Again, we're going to make sure that we're not ending up anywhere near the floor. That sounded pretty condescending, didn't it? Okay, that's got to be about a minute. Okay, so we're holding on to the chair to come out. So I've done all those exercises, standing exercises once. If you want to run through them twice, you can always rewind your video and do another set of the standing exercises if you want to. Otherwise, we're going to come back to seated. How are we doing for time? Got to make sure I'm still in the middle. So I've got a variety of toys that we usually use in our classes. I'm going to use the dumbbells. Now you can do these exercises with water bottles filled with water, whatever you've got. Anything that's just got baked bean cans, so they're a bit scarce at the moment as well. Whatever you've got that you can hold easily. So we're going to bring the weights just onto your knees there. Okay, shoulder blades down the back. I'm going to draw the ribs in, tummies in. And we're just going to take these arms and draw the arm back. A little squeeze. You might need to be near the front of your chair if you've got a big back on this one. And then the other one. So we're drawing the arm back. A little squeeze the shoulder blades and then bring them forward. Squeeze and release. Nice and long through the spine. And as you draw back, you want to feel the muscles in your back kind of tighten up, but don't pull it back so far that it feels like it's pinching in your neck or it's uncomfortable. I haven't counted any of these. There we go. I'm going to do one more on each single arm there. And then we're going to do both together. So we're going to hold them there and then turn the palms in, a little squeeze, and then bring them back. And as you draw back again, just keep the chin drawing in. Lower ribs are hugging in as well. And we're going to breathe out as we pull back. Breathe in as we come forward. But don't worry too much about the breathing. What you don't want to do is hold your breath. Keep it nice and fluid. And we're going to do one more like that, I think. And then bringing him down. So we're going to work our way to the front of the chair. And we're just going to bring this leg to here. I'm going to bring him out nice and straight if you can. And just let the foot turn out a little bit. Press into the sit bone, lift nice and tall. This is quite hard work for the thigh here, as you'll find out when you do it. We're just going to lift the leg up and back down. Now, as you lift the leg up and down, we're going to keep the length in the spine. Now, if you've got hip replacements, this one's really hard and probably won't be able to do it. So you don't have to do it if you've got hip replacements. You can just do a leg extension, so just keep the leg, but I'll show you in a minute. If we're on this one, we're just lifting and lowering. And we're aiming for about 10. If you get to 6 and that's enough for you, stop. That's fine. I think that's 7. We might have done an extra on this one. 8. 9. One more, you can see my legs shaking. and release. Give them a little shake out. And we're going to just do the other leg. So you're in the front chest. If you do need an option, like I said, leg extension where we're taking the leg in and out and just tapping the toe down. It's a sort of gentler version, still working that leg. But we'll do the other one now. So foot drops out, sit up nice and tall, and we're just lifting and lowering. So we're working this big muscle here. And it doesn't have to be high. Again, it might just be small. You might have a little rest in between, tap the heel down. Go to the leg extension, the bent leg version if you need to. Hope you guys have been counting. I think that's about 6, 7, 8, 9. Make sure you're not collapsing those backs. One more. And relax. Give them a little shake out. It's tough, that one. Okay. So we're going to bring our weights back in. Again, looping the shoulders down. We're going to hug the ribs in. Going to bring the arms in by your sides there. And we're just going to do a little press straight forward and back in again. So it's a little punch out and back in. Press forward and back. Now as you press forward, we're going to still keep the chest nice and open. So try not to round your shoulders too much. And again, we're breathing out as you push forward, in as you come back. Again, you can always run through these exercises a couple of times if you want to do a little bit more. Starting to get hard, that one. So we can do one more on each side. And then we're going to bring them down, just take a little loop for the shoulders. And we're going to take our feet now. Now this is really good for your ankle mobility and the muscles in the front of your legs there. So what we do is we just sweep the legs in and lift the toes up towards your knees. And then we take them down, sweep them out, and lift them back up again. So we get down, in, and lift. Down. So you're making a little kind of semicircle, a little U shape with your toes. And it seems like a really easy exercise, but after you've done it a few times, you start to notice that little kind of work going on in the front of the legs. Do one more like that, and maybe add a little pulse. So as we come through, we're going to do a little pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then sweep them down and out, and then go into a little pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just bringing them back in. Give them a little loosen up. So maybe we'll take our shoulders now. So we're going to bring these arms in, and we're just going to take a little lift. Maybe we'll do it one at a time. We'll take a little lift up to one side and down. Now, if you've got bad shoulders, this is the one you'll struggle with. I've got a slightly dodgy shoulder on the left here at the moment anyway. So you just take it to where you can. So if it only goes up to there, that's fine. What we don't want you to do is just try and force it by just tipping your body off to the side. We want to stay nice and upright. So you feel it on top of the shoulders. And if that's easy, then you can take the arm out a little bit longer. And the straighter you have the arm, the harder it becomes. Nice and controlled again. A little pause at the top, a little pause at the bottom. Okay. Should we do one more on each side? There we go. And then release them down. Give them a little shake out. Brilliant. So I've got a couple of other little toys here we can use as well. So what we're going to do, we've got a ball. Now you could use a cushion, whatever you've got, a kid's ball, if you've got like a really fluffy cushion, something like that. You just need something that's got a little give in it that you can put between your legs. And all you're going to do is press in against that resistance and then release it back out. So you can even be a little blanket tied, rolled up, anything along those lines. But we're just pressing in And you feel your inner thighs tighten up a little bit, and then release him down. Pressing in and release. And as you press in, you will feel your bottom tighten up as well. So we're working your bottom as well as the inner thighs. It's like you're trying to get a little bit taller. We're going to do 2 more slow. I should put some music on, shouldn't I? And then we're going to do a little pulse. So we're going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release him down. I'm going to take the ball out. We'll pop him down. Thinking then. Now again, I've got a nice little band here. So our little exercise bands, which are great if you've got one at home. And sometimes quite a lot of people have got the bits of firmer band, plastic, sort of stretchy, plasticky ones. So that's great as well. If you haven't, for this particular exercise, you can just use like a towel. Hold it at sort of opposite corners. And it has a little bit give, or just hold a towel or whatever you've got, a scarf. Anything that just you can hold on to, and just give a little pull out. So you've got that little bit of tension as you pull out. And what we're going to do, I'll sit sideways on a little bit so you can see. Shoulder blades down. We're going to have a little tension in the band, so we feel that little pull out. And then you can imagine you're putting something on a bit of a shelf in front of your chest, and then drawing your elbows back into your sides. So we're going to put something up on that shelf, and then we're going to bring him back in. Now, as you come forward, we're going to hug your shoulder blades in towards your back. So keep hold of it, but we're going to back of your shoulder blades, your tummy here. You're going to breathe out, hug them in as you come forward and back. And you're going to keep that little bit of tension on the band or on your scarf or whatever you're using. And this is quite a strong exercise for the muscles in your back. Really good for your posture. Especially as you draw back, that connection, the shoulder blades. How many have we done? I reckon that's 9. We're going to do 1 more of those. It's quite tough. And release him down. Give him a nice little roll for the shoulders. A little loosen off through there. Okay. So we're just going to pop that one down. I'm going to do a little shortened version today of our normal set. But like I said, you can always do the exercises twice through if you want a longer version of it. So we're just going to take a little stretch out now. We're going to bring your arms forward. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come sideways again, as you can take them right in front of your nose and then kind of draw the shoulder blades back a little bit. I'm going to keep the neck nicely in line. You never want to kind of lean forward with your neck and stuff. And just get that nice stretch sort of across the back of your shoulders. Breathe into him. And then we're going to release that down. And just bring your arms down by your side like we did before. Hug those elbows in. Hug the shoulder blades in, the rib cage in. Open your arms, and then from there, it might be enough. You feel the opening in the front of the shoulders, that's fine. If you want a little bit more, just open the arms a little bit more. Draw the thumbs back. And we get this lovely stretch. Now, as you do it, just check that chin. It isn't sticking out. Lovely open, down for the biceps, and if you're really keen, we can go out super long. Nice stretch through the front of the biceps, through the front of the chest there. And we all tend to get quite tight through here. So we'll release those off. There we go. And then we're going to bring that arm and just lift up, pressing the elbow towards the ceiling. And again, you just take it to where you can. You don't want to be arching the backs. You don't want to be trying to force him up. Just slide him down till you feel a little bit of a stretch through the back of the arm here. Okay, and then we've got to do the other side. So you can take that other arm. And we gently hold it. We're going to release them down. And again, we're going to take this time, we're going to need to be near the front of your chair again, because otherwise you won't be able to straighten out your leg. So once you are, we're going to just take that one leg out nice and straight. Bring your hands to your thigh, and then sit up really tall. And if you can feel the stretch in the back of your leg, then just stay there, that's enough. If you can't, then we just tip right from here. So I don't want you collapsing your upper body, we can lift it through the chest, and you just take it to the point where you feel the stretch in the back of the leg there. Yeah, just hold him for a sec. Breathe into the back of the leg there. And then we're going to sit up tall, and this time draw the toe towards you. Imagine you've got a bit of string on the end of your toe, and you're pulling it up towards your knee. And then you should bring the stretch a little bit further down in the calf here. So I'll come around that way later. So we can just feel that lovely little stretch through the back of the calf. And we're just going to swap him over, so we take the other leg out. Again, we're going to sit up nice and tall, take right from the hips. Got that nice stretch through the back of the leg. To hold that stretch for a little bit longer. If you want to develop the stretchability, you need to hold it for a little bit longer than this as well. You can hold it for about a minute, this one. But make sure we're lifted and the stretch is in here, not sort of in your calf or your bottom. You can always soften the foot a little, you can feel it in your calf. And then we sit up tall and we flex the foot, toe to knee. So we've got that nice stretch through the back of the calf going on. Hold in there. Okay, and then release them down, and we're going to do one more stretch, but we need to stand up for this one. So again, bringing the feet under. You can use your hands, come up with nice and controlled. Again, just come round to the back of your chair. I'm going to bring mine here so you can see. And because like we did before, we're just going to tap the toe to the back. This time we're going to press the front of this hip forward. So your bottom goes down, and we lift up and press the hip forward. And this gives you a nice stretch here, which if we're stuck indoors and we're doing lots more sitting than we normally do, that get really tight. So it's a really important one to do. Just feel that opening in the front of the hip. Make sure we've got lots of length from the tailbone. It's not cutting into your back. And then we're just going to do the other side. So we're going to bring this leg back, press the hip forward. So if you see it from this side, the toe's back, and we're pressing the hip forward. So I'm coming to you with this hip. And it's the whole of the front of the thigh and the hip here. So if you're tight in here, you'll feel it. Really, really important stretch to do. Because if these are tight, it tends to tip your pelvis and then tends to give you backache. So this is a really good little stretch. And then we're just going to give those legs a little shake, arms a little loosen off. And I hope this has been helpful. Very odd doing it without people here. None of our usual giggling and laughter going on, but hopefully it'll be helpful. And I'll see you soon. I'm going to turn it off now. Walk this way.